So now, my dear math learners, let us go if ever we will encounter two terms. Okay. Now, example number 5, we have one term multiplied by two terms. Two terms multiplied by two terms, a square of two terms, and then we have two terms times two terms. Now, if in any case, my dear math learners, you have two terms, you can just apply the distributive property or you can apply the FOIL method for two terms. Okay. Now, for question number 5, since that is only one, we will apply the distributive property. So, 3 to the power of... So, 3 square root of 6 will be distributed to the two terms. So, 3 times 5, that is 15. 6 times 2, that is 12. Okay. Minus 3 times 7, that is 21. 6 times 3, that is 18. Question is this your final answer? My dear math learners, remember that 12 and 18 can still be broken down. So, therefore, we will factor this into 4 and 3 minus 21. Square root of 18 can still be factored. That is 9 and 2. Okay. So, 15, the square root of 4 is 2. So, that is 15 times 2, square root of 3. Minus 21. The square root of 9 is 3. So, that will become 21 times 3, square root of 2. So, simplifying this, 15 times 2, that is 30, square root of 3. 21 times 3, that will give us, okay, minus 21 times 3, that is 63, square root of 2. And this will be your final answer. Easy, right? Now, if you may be asking me, so Ash, can I subtract the two terms? No. Why? Because remember our rule in addition and subtraction of radicals that two different radicals are considered unlike terms. And if it is unlike terms, you cannot combine them. Okay? Easy, right? So now let us go to our sixth example. Now, we have here an example of two terms. So if that is the case, you will apply the FOIL method. When I say FOIL method, that is first terms, outer terms, inner terms, and last terms. So you will be multiplying the first terms, and then the outer terms, and then the inner terms, and then finally the last terms. Okay? So, let's try. 3 square root of 10 times 4 square root of 10, that will give us 12 square root of 100. 3 square root of 10 times 5 square root of 5, that will give us 15 square root of 50. 2 square root of 5 times 4 square root of 5, that is 8 square root of 50. And then, 2 square root of 5 times negative 5 square root of 5, that will give us negative 10 square root of 25. Now, if this is the case, you can simplify them. As you can see, 100 is a perfect square. So, this will become 10. 12 times 10, that will give us 120. Negative 15 square root of 50 plus 8 square root of 50, they have the same radicand. So, therefore, we can combine them and that will become negative 7 square root of 50. Okay. And for this one, we have 10 square root of 25. Remember, 25 is also a perfect square, and the square root of 25 is 5. So, that will become 5. 10 times 5, that is 50. So, that is minus 50. So, now we can still simplify this one. 120 minus 50, that will give us 70. While here, our negative 7 square root of 50 can still be broken down into 25 and 2. Square root of 25 and square root of 2. So, having those, we will have 70 minus the square root of 25 is 5. So, 7 times 5, that will become 35 square root of 2. And that will be your final answer. Easy, right? So, as you can see, my dear math learners, you cannot subtract 70 to 35 square root of 2 because 70 is just an expression without a radical sign. And 35 square root of 2 is a radical expression. Okay? So, that will be your final answer. Easy, right? Now, let us go to our seventh example. Now, let us go to our seventh example. We have 6 square root of 2 minus 5 square root of 2 squared. Now, if you have two terms, you can multiply it directly to itself. But, look at the example, my dear math learners. As you can see, the two terms has the same radicand. So, basically, we can simplify them, and 6 minus 5, that will give us 1 square root of 2 squared. Or basically, square root of 2 squared. And remember, my dear math learners, square root of 2 squared is the same as our law number 1, which is the same index and the same exponent will be canceling each other, and that will give us positive 2. Other way is, even though you multiply this to itself, square root of 2 times square root of 2, that will give you square root of 4, and the square root of 4 is still positive 2. Easy, right? So that will be your final answer. And now let us go to our final example. We have 3 square root of x plus 5 square root of y times the quantity 2 square root of x minus 4 square root of y. Okay, so if this is the case, then what you can do is you can just apply the FOIL method. So we have 3 times 2, that is 6. Square root of x, that will be square root of x squared. Then we have the outer terms, minus 3 times 4, that is 12. Square root of x times square root of y, that is square root of xy. Then we have now our inner terms. 5 times 2, that is positive 10. Y times x, that is square root of xy. Always apply the alphabetical order in writing your variables. Then we have positive 5 times negative 4, that will give us negative 20. Y times y, that is square root of y squared. Now we will simplify. The square root of x squared is a perfect square, so this will become x, so that will give us 6x. Now, as you can see, our second term and our third term, they have the same radicand, so we can simplify them. Negative 12 plus 10, that is negative 2. We copy the xy. And finally, we have 20 here, so negative 20, square root of y squared, that is a perfect square, and that is y. So, if you check your first term, your second term, and your third term, they are not the same terms, they are unlike terms, and this will be your final answer. Easy, right? So, my dear math learners, I hope you have a concrete understanding on how to multiply radicals with variables or without variables. Now, I know that there are some examples that are very challenging, but with constant practice, I know you can be mastered on this competency. Now, this is the time that I will challenge you whether you have understood our topic, and here it is. Okay, math learners, I hope you have a wonderful time for our discussion for today. This is still your free access math teacher, Ash. And always remember, it is fun to learn mathematics if we are together learning. Thank you so much, God bless, and keep safe always. Congratulations, math learners, for arriving to this part of the video. If you think that this video have helped you, click that like button. And if you think that this channel can change the way you see mathematics, do not forget to click that subscribe button and notification bell. Thank you.